Ben goes Las Vegas Regional. Robin, they get that second goal late in the second period, but what's the feeling like when you guys answer back right away and are able to, be tied going into that second intermission?
I mean, it was huge. Hell of a difference coming into the third, down 2-1 and 2-2. I mean, their second goal is something we don't want to give up, and their second goal is the same for them. So it's kind of just even out.
Jesse and Willie. Jesse Graves with the Athletic. Robin, you seem like the rebound control was really good tonight. I'm wondering, do you think that's more of just the shots you were facing, or you feel anything in your game that leads to that?
No, it's been pretty decent this season, I think. Depends a little bit team to team how they play, but it's a little bit harder here. We block a lot of shots, so we don't see the pucks that often sometimes. So, but it's been feeling pretty good.
Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press. Robin, as the season started and injuries just were piling up, and then the 1-4 start, and all of us are out here questioning you guys, and here you go on quietly on a 6-2-0 run, and Golden Knights are getting it done realistically.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we were 1-4 there, and people were asking us, I think it's most of us said we weren't panicking. I think we have a lot of belief in our group and our depth and our system, and I think slowly getting there. And we're fighting hard right now just to stay in games, getting points, waiting for some key players to come back. But I think everyone's stepping up, and we're working really hard to stay in the race.
Thanks for your time, Robin.
Thank you.
We'll have Shea available. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation. If some outlets are taking this live, we'll open it up to questions. Start with Jesse and go to Ben, then Willie. Jesse Graves with the Athletic for Shea. Pete has mentioned how missing camp kind of you're playing catch up a little bit. I guess what has been the hardest part of trying to catch up to things, and how close do you think you are feeling to being back to yourself?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I think to start the season, there's a lot of games, so you're kind of ramping into it pretty quick, and we came off a long road trip. I think some of it's just getting the timing back of certain things. Obviously we're missing a lot of key players, but I think my game's starting to pick up a little bit.
Go to Ben Gopes.
Ben goes Las Vegas Regional. Will, can you kind of take us through of Vinny Dadnoff's goal at the end of the second period there, and looked like a little hit pass you made, and what kind of boost did that give you guys heading into the locker room?
Yeah, we're just trying to get the momentum back after that goal, so we only had about 30 seconds. He had a good shot there, and just the rebound play, kind of random, send it back door, and good tap, so that was a good goal for us, especially going to the third.
Jose Valonte, Gorilla Cross Radio. Shea, you guys have had a lot of injuries to start the season. What have you learned about the rest of the guys on the team, and what have you seen from everybody else so far?
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of guys step up, and play key minutes for us. I think it just comes down to being a collective effort from everyone. Nobody has to do it by themselves, and I think when we play that way, we're going to be successful.
Justin Emerson, Las Vegas Sun. Shea, we've talked a lot over the last couple of years that kind of running into a hot goalie has been a thing for you guys. Does it kind of feel like, I think your 4 goals came on your first 16 shots, I think, something like that tonight. Does it maybe feel like puck luck was a little bit more on your side tonight, and maybe does that feel nice to get it on your side?
Yeah, I think we had some puck luck, but also we had a lot of guys, in front of his eyes. I thought we had, even on Petro's first goal, there was 3 guys in front crossing the lane, and I think when you have guys at the net and we're able to get shots through, it's definitely tougher to stop for sure.
Chris
Chapman, Fox Sports Las Vegas. Shea, you mentioned Alex's goal. Goalie misplays it, deflects off his glove and goes in. Does that enter your mind at all when you take that shot from the blue line? And were you a bit surprised that it went in from out there?
No, I mean we're just trying to get as many pucks to the net as possible. I think sometimes as a D-man when you have a lane, for a one time where you have to take it, and just really getting it to the net.
Alan Snell with LVSportsBiz.com, both for Shea and Will. Just your reaction to having Eichel in the building tonight.
Yeah, no, it's good. So for first time here in the locker, it's good to see him back. Definitely got the fans going there early in the game, so I think he's gonna fit right in here in Vegas.
Anything else for these two? Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Shea. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation, and as some outlets are taking this live, we'll start with Jesse.
Jesse Granger with Athletic. Reilly, did you tip Shea's shot? It looks like they may have changed it to give it to you.
No, I don't think so. I think that's his. But, you know, if he doesn't want it, I'll take it.
Go to Justin, then Alan, then Jeff, back to Jesse.
Justin Emerson, Las Vegas Sun. Alex, last year, a lot of your guys' wins, it was kind of overwhelming the team. You guys had 40, 50 shots, whatever it was. Is it nice to be able to kind of be on this side of one of them and to have 4 goals on 20-something shots or whatever it was and pick up the win?
Yeah, I think we've been giving up a lot, but we've been getting a lot too. So it's kind of nice to get some, you know, the way we want. I mean, like some nights you're going to get 50 shots, some nights you're going to get 20. And sometimes things hit the net, sometimes they don't. As long as you're getting the opportunities and putting yourself in the spot, I think tonight we did a good job of capitalizing on those opportunities, something that I think we need to continue to get better at. We've been getting good looks, we just haven't been able to score.
Jesse Granger with Athletic. Reilly, can you just talk about the timing of the goals? 2 goals tonight in the final 30 seconds of the period to tie it up. I guess, how different did those intermissions feel going into them tied up like that?
Yeah, that goal by Dadonov, that was huge for us. You know, that's a huge momentum swing, being able to tie the game up going into the third period like that. And it's a great play by Will Carrier. He went to the net, created everything, and was able to kick it to the back door for an open net. Those goals change everything. So we haven't been able to score a lot of them this season, but when we do, you see the difference it makes. And then, you know, obviously being able to tie up the special teams battles is big for us because we've been losing that a lot.
Go Ben, Alan, Ken.
Ben goes Las Vegas for you, Alex, you guys have won 6 of 8 now. I guess do you feel like you figure out kind of a formula for success here, even with the guys that you have out?
Yeah, I mean, we felt like we were building and we weren't winning games. I think that Toronto game was almost a good thing for us to kind of, you know, take a step back and look at what we need to do to win. I think when you have younger guys coming into the lineup too, the more they play, the more they feel comfortable, and the more, you know, comfortable they feel in our system. We changed a few things in our system this year, and you know, that's going to take time to adjust. It's all new for us, and I think now we're starting to get it. It's kind of becoming second nature for us, and you're starting to see, you know, what we want to do throughout games, you know, playing those systems.
Go Alan, Ken, then Willie.
Alan Snell with LDSportsBiz.com. This is for Reilly. I think maybe the first couple of games you had mentioned that the team really needs to crank up the intensity level, ratchet up to like a playoff level. I'm wondering, you know, where do you think the team is at this point in that regard?
I think we're still working there. You know, I think we are playing tighter. We're kind of giving up less opportunities in the slot, but there's still, you know, room to grow. You know, I think we've been fortunate enough to pick up some wins on the road and kind of make it a decent road trip. Now I think we really have to be able to elevate our game even another step on this homestand right now, because these are big games and big points for us.
Go Ken, Willie, then Chris.
For Alex, Ken Bulkey said in not Vegas for Alex. Did you think this was like the tightest game you guys have played defensively the whole year?
Yeah, I mean, we did a lot of good things. I mean, we knew they were going to try and throw pucks towards the net. I think that was a focus for us. They like to create stuff, make some scrums in front. I guess, you know, quote unquote dirty goals. So it's been a, like Smitty said, it's been a, you know, focus for us. We've been giving up a lot of those chances, a lot of, you know, second opportunities, rebounds, and all that. Lenny did a good job kicking those aside, but I think it's a focus for us to kind of give up those shots less. I mean, those shot totals of sometimes they have 50, but you know, 20 of them are from right in tight, and those are the ones we're trying to get rid of because it's just extra work that we don't need to give our goalies.
Willie, then we'll end with Chris.
Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press. Alex, you said that as you change the system this season, then you've made adjustments as guys have gone down, obviously. As they start to come back, because maybe the playbook is different, the system is different, do you readjust, or does it just make this team even better, more diverse? Because as you bring guys back, you can do more things with your top line forward.
Well, even better. I mean, if we're going to keep doing the same things we've been doing, you're just going to bring back some veteran guys. I mean, I think if you look at the guys that are, not playing right now, these guys have played, several hundred games. They've played in the league for a long time, and they're watching the games, so they're coming in meetings. So it's not like they're coming into a completely unknown. I mean, they're watching the same video we are. They're in the same meetings that we are. So when they come back, they're up to speed, and guys are starting to practice, and that kind of gets the brain back into it. But I don't think we're going to change anything. But it's a good thing that these young guys are adjusting well, because in this sport you're going to have injuries. You're going to need them again at some point, I'm sure, this year.
We'll end with Chris.
Chris Chapman, Fox Sports Las Vegas. For either one of you guys, I think you had 3 players in the lineup tonight who, until this season, had never played a game in the NHL. They're not doing a lot of things showing up on the stat sheet, but they're not making a lot of mistakes. So I guess how important is their contribution to what you guys are doing right now?
It's huge, and what Alex said is very important, because those guys are jumping in now. They're playing smart hockey, but they're also giving themselves some experience for if guys get healthy and then get injured later on in the season, they're able to jump in and have that confidence to be able to play minutes where we need them to either shut down or produce offensively. So I think the rookies have come in, they've done an unbelievable job. They've really bought into the system, and we're winning games because of it.
Reilly, Alex, thanks for your time. Well, explanation as some outlets are taking this live. We'll start with Willie, then continue on.
Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press. Pete, guys start off 1-4. We just kept questioning you guys. You said, don't panic. You've got a whole season. You reeled off 6 of 8. I'll be happy with the way your team's playing.
Yeah, I've liked our response. I mean, obviously we were at a little bit of a crossroads there, especially with the schedule. At that point, we were heading to Colorado and Dallas, and the guys that were injured were going to be out for a long time. So, I mean, I thought our group kind of from that point on recommitted to defending hard, and we've been getting great goaltending and some timely goals, and found a way to win some games.
Ben, Jesse, Joe.
Ben.
Ben goes Las Vegas. You just mentioned timely goals. Obviously, Evgeny Dadonov scores right after they score at the end of the second period.
Yeah.
Just, how different of a feeling is that going into the second intermission with a tie game instead of a 1-goal deficit?
Yeah, huge goal. And Will Carrier started the play, like he started a lot of plays for us lately too. He's it's funny, but when you have these injuries, it's opportunity for guys to play up in the lineup, to play roles that maybe they haven't had a chance to play. And some guys that come to mind, particularly Will Carrier, I thought has done a great job of jumping up in the lineup and being effective every night. Obviously Stevie, but Nick Waugh too. I mean, he might have been our best player tonight again. So it's nice to see guys like that grab those opportunities.
Jesse, Joe, and then we'll go from there.
Jesse, great. You kind of jumped ahead of me. I was going to ask you about Will Carrier. I guess, have you seen him get more comfortable in that role? I mean, he's obviously been playing on this team for a long time, but he's being asked to maybe do different things. Are you seeing him improve in those aspects of things that he hasn't been doing?
I think Will's always had the ability to play, a skill game with the power that he has, without losing that physicality and that power. I think, obviously, when he was playing with Revo and that group, they had a different identity. They were going over the boards to smash and bang and soften up the other team. I think, with how we're built now, we're asking them to go over and keep that physicality, but make plays and contribute offensively, and particularly now, playing up in the lineup. So he's always had that skill and ability, though. He could always skate, and his speed backs people off, but he's got underrated skill.
Good. Joe, Dave, Justin.
Hey Pete, Joe Payne, Las Vegas advisor. I mean, it's no secret that you guys are missing some of your key scorers. Can you talk about how your defense has really contributed? I believe they've scored 10 of your 37 goals this season so far.
Yeah, I think, when I got here, well, it's 3 seasons ago, wow, bubble season, I don't even know how to describe how long ago I got here with what's gone on, but, you know, we really challenged our group of defensemen to get involved more in the rush offensively. And I think every year we've gotten a little bit better at it. And I think when we get back to full strength and the forwards have the ability to back people off and make more plays, I think the defensemen are even going to get more opportunity than they are now. But they're definitely driving the bus for us here right now.
Dave, Justin.
Shane, Las Vegas Review Journal. Just an observation, it seemed like you guys were a little listless for like the first half of the first period, and then Braden McNabb had that big hit. Did you feel like that in particular kind of woke you guys up, and you know, was maybe the moment that started things for you?
I think that was a huge moment for us. Naber has that ability to kind of drag us into the fight with those type of plays, and he's done that continuously here. Character guy, and we were listless. I mean, you come off a road trip like we come off, and you know, you always know the first game back after a long trip. You know, there's always an issue there, and you know, I thought Naber kind of got the whole group's attention that, you know, he wasn't gonna just quietly watch this game go by. He was gonna get us involved, and he did that.
Justin and Ken.
Justin Emerson, Las Vegas Sun. So often when you guys win games, you're peppering the goalie, you're dominating possession. Is it nice to be able to win a game where you're outshot and maybe you don't get as many shots as you typically have, but still are able to find 4 goals and win the game?
Yeah, I think I said when we got the injuries we got, we were going to have to find different ways to win games, and it wasn't going to be pretty, and this group might play to their potential, you know, over the entire time that we're out without these key guys, and you know, might play great, and we might be 500. I mean, that just might be what we are, and I think what they're proving is, I think that they're better than that, and I think that you know, I think we've done it with a defensive foundation. I think the offense has been enough to find us to win games, but our defensive foundation, our goaltending has been really solid.
We have time for 4 more. We'll go Ken, Alan, Chris, and then Jose.
Okay.
Ken Bolkey's in Vegas. I'm just kind of interested in what they told you on the WA face-off penalty. It looked like you were a little confused with what was going on, and then they had that discussion. What did they tell you there?
Well, he told me that they thought Wazzy played it with his hand. You know, I thought if it did hit his hand, it was accidental, and you know, I just made the point. I get that if that's a huge draw in one of the end zones, but for that to be called in a neutral zone at that point in the game, I hadn't seen that in my entire time in the league. So I just made that point as politely as I could.
Alan, Chris, Jose, then we'll end with Jesse.
Hey Pete, Alan Snell with LVSportsBiz.com. You mentioned your length of tenure in the league, and I was wondering if I could get some of your thoughts on Jack Eichel in the building, and you have a player who, at the end of the day, got the treatment he wanted, deferred. You know, can you put that into some context in terms of players who want their own treatment versus the teams?
Well, these guys, I was amazed yesterday about how educated Jack was about his injury, about the options, about the surgeons, the procedure. You know, he spoke like a doctor. Nobody's more invested in doing the right thing for the athlete than the athlete. And so, you know, I think, you know, they have to have a huge say in that. You know, I think that's just normal, and especially when they're intelligent guys that you know, it's his career at stake. So I was really impressed with him. Great to see him in the building. You know, he's going to be a huge addition for this team for a long time. It's just going to be a matter of just being patient and waiting for him to get back.
Chris, Jose, Jesse.
Yeah, hi Pete, Chris Chapman, Fox Sports Las Vegas. You've got a couple guys in the locker room.
All right, Chris, how are you?
You got a couple guys in the locker room who have achieved the pinnacle in this sport, but you also have a couple guys who are just beginning their NHL careers. The moment doesn't seem to be too big for these guys that you're bringing up from the AHL, like tonight, Paul, and obviously Jake and Jonas. Can you just speak about their contribution and how important their contributions have been to helping you guys win games?
Well, I think the depth of the organization, you know it's going to get tested at some point. You never think it's going to be in the first 10 games of the season, and it has. I mean, we've used a lot of those guys, and they've all come up and given us valuable time. And like I said, there's been some guys, and not just young guys, but some guys that have really taken a step, like the Nick Waz of the world, and have really helped us win games with key guys out. So yeah, I think the depth, where we're sitting in a record right now is a testament to the depth of the organization.
Jose and then Marchessault.
Jose Volonte, Gorilla Cross Radio. Pete, you have a lot of guys out. Obviously, that's been known. It's not hidden, but you have a lot of guys that are playing strong right now and coming up. What do you say to these guys that are doing what they're doing, and you guys are getting hot at the right time right now?
Yeah, you know what? You just want them to seize the opportunity, because you don't know when they're going to get it again. So any of the young guys that have come up, we've basically said, listen, you don't know when you're going to get another look like this or an opportunity like this. Hopefully we're healthy the rest of the year and we don't get in this spot. But while you have that chance, you got to make the most of it, and they've done a good job of that.
Well, Marchessault.